know when the segment started.
Jar, Evan. You can Venmo me, and I'll put the cash in.
I don't have Venmo. My wife has to do that for me. I'm very
Well,
old.
this is a jar. You've been late now,
All right,
what, 2
right.
segments, Nuno?
Yeah, there was.
How was I late for the other one?
It was a close call at 6:15.
Close call.
Close call at 6:15.
I have money. All right, here, look. On camera, I'm putting $5 in already for the week here at ESPN West Palm. Here we go. $5 already in. I apologize.
Wait, did you open up the shirt so people could see the T-shirt now? Is that what?
My shirt was open the entire time. It's a gray T-shirt. There's nothing to show.
Oh,
I wouldn't do that.
by the way, I was out
boy.
on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
Did tune into the show on YouTube TV on my phone. Saw Evan with his North Carolina jersey, repping for his coach.
Yeah.
So, Evan, I just wanted to take this opportunity because we haven't spoken. Congratulations.
Thank
Your
you.
guy
Yeah, I have a lot
officially
to do with
coaching
it.
again. Happy
Yes.
for you.
Evan,
Yes.
you're being accused. Did you switch your shirt? Did you change out your shirt? Is that a new shirt?
I swear to God, I've been wearing the CC. Back me up on this. You literally made a point to talk about my shirt before we started. This is the exact same shirt.
It's the exact same shirt.
Is
What
it?
are you talking about?
I don't know. Evan, when you just held up your backpack, it looked like there was another pink shirt on top of it.
Oh, there is.
Did you change out pink shirts?
No, you should know what I do here. No, I always raid the prize closet of any radio station I go to look for free gear.
Theft.
So this is an Inter Miami Deportes Radio 760 AM shirt. It's like a kind of messy jersey is what it is.
Okay, that's very cool. But Evan, what if that was supposed to go to a special listener?
Well, it's not going to. I'm a special listener for Unsportsmanlike every morning, so there you go. There you go. All right, anyway, so was there a door left wide open yesterday? Is there a chance by the Pittsburgh Steelers losing the game that they did to the Philadelphia Eagles that the Baltimore Ravens now have a little life here in the AFC North? Lamar had 5 touchdowns yesterday in their win over the Giants, if you consider that like a real win. But in their win over the Giants, 5 touchdowns, they cover a 16.5-point spread, and they dominate New York. Has the door been left open for the Ravens to maybe win the AFC North?
Depends on how long George Pickens is going to be out, and what about Dante Jackson and Deshaun Elliott, who both were out in yesterday's game against the Eagles. Now, Dante Jackson got hurt in the second quarter, but you understand what I mean. 2 of your top 4 secondary defenders were hurt. So if Pittsburgh isn't whole going into that game next week at M&T Bank Stadium, then it could be bad for them. And when I say be bad, not only could they lose, they could get embarrassed. That's how good this Baltimore Ravens team looked yesterday coming off of their bye week. And Lamar Jackson has been absolutely phenomenal. He had more touchdown passes than he did incompletions yesterday. Lamar Jackson, after yesterday's performance, joined Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady as the only quarterbacks in NFL history with 30-plus passing touchdowns and fewer than 5 interceptions through the first 14 games of the season. Both Rodgers and Brady went on to win the MVP in those years. Now, I think the MVP is Josh Allen's to lose, but Lamar Jackson is playing at an MVP level. And the Ravens are getting right from a health standpoint at the right time in the calendar. So, yeah, I think this Baltimore Ravens team is going to have something to say about who comes out of the AFC. Now, do I think the Baltimore Ravens can beat the Kansas City Chiefs? No, I don't. But do I think the Buffalo Bills can beat the Baltimore Ravens? I don't either. I think there are just bad matchups.
Wait, stop. Wait, say that again. So let's just make sure we hone in on this. That what you just said is fascinating. So there's a 3-way dance. Baltimore cannot win at Kansas City, but Buffalo can't win against Baltimore.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct. So I think that's the big 3 in the AFC that we're moving towards. It's the Baltimore Ravens, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Buffalo Bills. And I said this before the start of the season. If the Ravens are going to get to the Super Bowl, then somebody else is going to have to take out the trash for them. Somebody else is going to have to take care of the Kansas City Chiefs. And if the Chiefs don't end up getting that number 1 seed, then it could, in a roundabout way, end up being, the Buffalo Bills. So we'll have to see what happens and, again, what the matchups are going to be once we get into that divisional round. But I do think there is an opportunity for the Baltimore Ravens to compete for the AFC North title and or have an opportunity to get a Buffalo Bills team who they match up favorably against in the postseason.
Well, let's look at the remaining schedules. Baltimore, they have the head-to-head with Pittsburgh, but it's at home, as you mentioned, at Houston and the Cleveland Browns. They could easily win out. The Steelers are going to Baltimore, and as you mentioned, they're banged up. Then they have the Chiefs, then they have the Bengals to close out the season. So we're looking at a scenario where the Steelers could lose out and the Ravens could win out. This could be very interesting down the stretch in the AFC North.
But in order for the Steelers to lose out, that would be a 4-game losing streak to go into the postseason. Could you see that happening?
Versus
I could not.
The Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Bengals?
Yes, I could.
Yeah.
You don't think that those are all losable games for the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially if they're missing key pieces?
I do, but I also think that the Pittsburgh Steelers have proven this year we should stop doubting Mike Tomlin in those games. It doesn't mean they're going to sweep and win out, but that means if you told me that they split the Ravens and the Chiefs, I'd believe it. If you told me they beat the Bengals, who were going to have nothing to play for that final week of the season, I'd believe that too. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if the Steelers won 2 of their next 3. I'm still going to always give the benefit of the doubt to Mike Tomlin. And yes, I understand what CeCe said, and go back on the ESPN app, wherever you get your podcast, to hear CeCe in depth say that Nick Sirianni outcoached Mike Tomlin yesterday. So I get that part of it, but I'm not going to project Mike Tomlin being outcoached even by John Harbaugh and Andy Reid in 2 or 3 of the next 3 games. I just can't do
Ev,
that.
it's not about him being outcoached as much as it is about him being outmanned. And sometimes you just don't have good answers when you don't have the personnel. And without George Pickens and without some of the guys on the defensive side of the ball, like you were missing Deshaun Elliott, you were missing Dante Jackson for the majority of the game. TJ Watt got hurt at the end of the game. He's got an ankle sprain. That's your best player. So if these guys can't suit up against the Baltimore Ravens, then they absolutely can lose. And who's to say that they find a way to get back on track when you got dates with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals after that? So I don't think it's off the board that they could go into the playoffs losing 4 straight. I think it's entirely possible that the Pittsburgh Steelers end up as a wild card, and we're putting them on one and done alert when the postseason kicks off.
So are there 2 teams now that we're looking at, and I'll group them together, but 2 teams in the NFL that we're looking at and saying we may have to leave you to the side right now because the injuries have depleted you so much, we're not sure what you are, and those 2 teams would be the Steelers and the Lions?
That is correct.
And that's so to answer the question.
Both of them are division leaders that could probably be in the wild card picture. They could go. They could go from hosting a home playoff game, and in the Lions' case, potentially being the number 1 seed, to being the 5 seed.
So then don't we have to ask the same question? Did the NFC North open up for Minnesota yesterday too then?
The North opened up. the North opened up, and winter is coming, sir.
The King of the North, TBD.
No, but there is that's a good way of saying it. The entire North, AFC and NFC, has opened up because of injuries. Upon further review with CeCe, coming up next, we're on Sportsmanlike.